Hello and welcome back. So I have been missing for nearly a month and I have to apologize, but I've been quite busy, and when I have to sort out timetables and work and stuff, I just get very stressed. So I decided to postpone my videos and focus on work basically. But I have a half an hour break from class to class, so I decided to create this video. This video is going to be a bit negative because it's true that I have the best experiences at work. I get good results from my students, good feedback. However, I also have very negative stories. I gathered 5 stories where basically I was turned down from a job with no explanation. Now, after these stories, you might think, oh, well, they had the reason. Maybe you didn't have the qualifications. And I understand. If I don't have the qualifications, I'm the first one who says, yes, if I can't work here, that's fine. I understand. At least tell me why I can't. And this is why I created this video. So I gathered, as I said, four stories and four stories and 4 jobs and 1 story. Okay. So I'm going to start in chronological order. Yeah, the 4 of them will be chronological order, and then I'll leave the story for the end. So yeah, the first one was back in 2015, and I received a call from a school, a secondary school, asking me if I wanted to teach 1 class as an optional subject. Now, in Ireland, there's a 4th year of secondary school education. It's basically a transition year. They don't do exams, they don't have assignments. All they do is to work on other skills. So this coordinator and the principal called me one day and they asked me if I wanted to do a module. The module consisted of 12 weeks of work with them, and I was given free range. I agreed. Now, the job wasn't in the place where I live right now, so I had to travel on the bus outside the town. I had to leave my house at 7 in the morning, get the bus at 7:30. I would arrive in the town at 8 o'clock, and my classes started at 9:30. So I have an hour and a half to kill, but I would just stay having a coffee or preparing something else on my laptop. After that, I would have 2 or 3 hours of class, and then I had to wait until, if I'm not wrong, until I think it was 2 or half 2 to get the bus back. Basically, the whole day was over. I didn't have time to do anything else. So I did that for 2 days a week, 3 months. For 3 months, I think it was. After that, summer arrived. And, well, we were on holidays. And then they called me again after Christmas, asking me if I wanted to do that for other 3 months, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and then I agreed because they said that students were very happy, parents were very happy. I was over the moon, and I said, perfect, I'll go back. So I went back, and basically I had to do the same with another group. Everything went fine. I was praised because I decided to tell my students to prepare portfolios. So a portfolio basically was a folder with all the work that we were doing, and at the end of the 3 months, I was going to take these portfolios to my house. So you should have seen me on the bus with 60 folders. It was ridiculous. So I would take them home, correct every single folder, and then bring them back. For the misery, because I didn't receive the money I deserved, in my opinion, but I was very happy. It was good for my curriculum. Now, so summer finished, and I messaged them, and I said, oh, if you're interested in me doing this year again, let me know. They said to me they had found someone else to do it, because the idea that this school had was basically to hire somebody to teach students, and if everything went fine, or if everything worked out the way they wanted to, they were going to create Spanish as a subject. So I thought, this is fantastic. If I do it well, I will get the job. No, I was doing that. I was working my ass off in order to stay there. And no, basically they said, no, they hired someone else. I messaged them back, silly me, and I said, oh, well, if you need someone else to work with, with that teacher or wherever, let me know. I got no answer. And that's what really, really, really annoyed me. The fact that I did so much for misery, and I never got a message back. So yeah, that was the first story. Now the second one, I think it annoyed me a little bit more. This was 2 years ago. I was at home, it was Saturday evening, and I got a call from a Spanish number, which is unusual now that I live in Ireland. So I answered the call, and it was this Spanish man who was in the town with a group of Spanish teenagers. Well, these Spanish teenagers were here to learn English as a foreign language, and they had hired a teacher, Irish teacher, native English speaker from Ireland, to work in the school. However, they had found out that this teacher had showed up in class drunk. So they had no teacher for Monday, Saturday evening, okay? This was Saturday evening. So this man had heard that I taught or I teach English as a foreign language, and he asked me if I wanted to do this for 2 weeks. So I think it was from 9 to 12, Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. I said, fantastic. Now, I have to say this conversation was in Spanish, okay? Spanish. So I said, oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, no problem. I'll be there on Monday. Tell me what I have to prepare. I'll be there. No problem. Oh, he said, oh, this is fantastic. Thanks very much. I'll call you tomorrow to confirm. He called me the following day and he said, listen, Bea, I was talking to other teachers and I was talking to the parents. I told them the situation and they are not very happy with the fact that the teacher is going to be Spanish. And I said, well, first of all, I am Spanish, but I'm an English teacher, okay? Secondly, you haven't heard me in English. Like, you haven't heard me speak in English. How do you know what my English is like? And that really, really, really annoyed me. His answer said, yeah, but you know, you have to understand that if the students are here in Ireland, they expect an Irish teacher. And I said, I just can't believe that I was about to save your ass and basically you're giving me this explanation. I understand, okay, I understand that I might not be Irish. I don't have an Irish passport, but I've been here for so many years that I think my English is good enough to teach students. Now, why am I including this in this video? Because I wasn't even interviewed in English. I mean, you can't judge somebody because of their nationality. It was ridiculous. So I said the same. I said, well, if you have any problems in the future, let me know. I am here. I have my mornings free. Yeah, no problem. We hung up. Never heard of him again. The third third situation is basically, it doesn't really annoy me that much because it was so long ago that I really don't care, to be honest. And that was, actually, this is the oldest one. That was in 2013 when I finished working here as an au pair. I went back to my hometown and I was looking for a job as an English teacher. And basically it was the same as before. They were looking for native speakers. So I went there with my CV in my hand and I said, listen, I'm looking for a job, summer job as an English teacher. The principal of the language school said to me, you know what, we're looking for native speakers of English. And I said, but I'm speaking in Spanish, why don't you test me out? I mean, interview me in English. And she said, no, but you know, you're Spanish, no, we're looking for English speaking people. In a town of, how big is my hometown? Could be now 32,000 people. Needless to say that a few months after, the school closed down. I mean, you can't expect to find a native speaker of English in a small town and also not interviewed someone who has told you she has lived in a foreign country for a year. Obviously, I don't think my English was like now, but I wasn't even interviewed. I mean, you just can't do that because you're missing opportunities. You never know. Maybe I didn't have the level, and maybe I didn't have what they were looking for, but I found that really, really unfair. And, well, another situation was not a long time ago. It was probably 3 weeks ago or a month ago. I received this call from my workmate here, and he said that he met a Spanish man who wanted to have English classes. So he asked me if I had some time to help him, and I said, sure, no problem. Pass on my number and he can call me whenever. He called me and I answered in English. And the situation was very strange. I answered in English even though it was a Spanish number. I don't know why. I answered, I said, hello. This man said, hello. Silence. And I said, who's this? Something like, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said. And then he started, he said like, is this Bea? And I said, oh yeah. And then he started speaking to me in Spanish. And I said, oh yeah. And we were talking about, you know, the situation where this man had given him my number, stuff like that. And he said, I heard that you know somebody who teaches English. And I said, oh, it's me. I'm the English teacher. And he said, oh. He went like, oh, so you're the teacher. And I said, I am the teacher indeed. And he kept going like, oh, all right, okay. And I said, well, is there any problem? Like, I'm a teacher. I did my C2 in English from Cambridge last July. I mean, I think I'm fully qualified to teach your level of English. And he was like, well, I didn't say that, obviously. And he was like, oh, okay, right, okay, can I call you? No, I said, sorry, I'm actually in class. I was just taking a break. Can I call you later? He said, oh yeah, sure. I hung up. I messaged after. The conversation, again, was in English. Oh, sorry, in Spanish. So I messaged this man and I said, listen, I'm free now. Call me whenever you have time. He saw the message. He never called back. So I find this funny because I heard the stories about this person afterwards. And I'm glad that I'm, away from this man, because from what I've heard, he can be very annoying and informal. So I'm very happy. last one, because I have to go, is this story that happened maybe 5-6 years ago. That I was in a cafe. We had these meetings where everybody spoke Spanish, and we help Irish people to practice their Spanish. And this man, who I think he's still living here, we started talking about what we do in life. And he said, when I said, I teach English, he started laughing. And he said, "There's no way you're teaching English." Again, this conversation was in Spanish. And I said, he says, no, he's not Spanish. He knew some Spanish. No, this conversation was in English. I said, "I'm a teacher." He said, "No, you can't be a teacher." And I said, "Excuse me, I can't be a teacher, excuse me." And he said, but you're Spanish." And I said, "What?" And he said, "You can't be an English teacher if you're Spanish." And I said, I can't believe it. I just can't believe someone could say this. This man is Irish, and he was teaching English in Spain with no qualifications in teaching, okay? All of a sudden, this man started speaking to me in English really, really, really fast. Blah, 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 blah. He asked me one question, I answered, no problems. He asked me another question, I answered, but really, really, really fast. So I said, hold on. Are you trying to test me out here? Are you trying to demonstrate that I cannot understand, or I cannot, understand what you're asking? He started laughing. He said, "Yeah." I was like, I just can't believe that I have to go through all this shit with this piece of shit, because he's a piece of shit. And I started laughing. I said, I just can't. I feel so insulted. Seriously, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, he was just speaking to me really, 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 really fast to prove or to show that I couldn't understand. He asked, I answered. He asked, and I answered, but really, really fast. And people were looking like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, but basically it was that. And but yeah, I think that's it. Those are my 5 situations. I hope you find them amusing and funny. They're not funny at all. Now I'm laughing now, but when these situations happened, you feel very frustrated. You try to, to go over and to just forget about it and try to look on the bright side of things. But this job can be really tough, and not because of what I do, because I love what I do, but the people around you. And so I hope you enjoyed. Try to upload this now. And honestly, if you're a student and you're watching this, honestly, if a person says they can teach you, no matter where they're from, you should trust them. Sometimes your nationality or your accent doesn't determine how professional you are. So, well, having said this, I'm gone. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.